There are stories that start with danger, stories that start with discovery, and stories that start with fate. Mine began with none of those. It began with an invitation I wasn't supposed to receive. I was a human observer, part of a diplomatic exchange program meant only for high-ranking scientists, xenobiologists, politicians. Certainly not a low-level cultural liaison like me. But mistakes happen, files get mislabeled, and before I knew it, I was chosen as one of the delegates to visit Valerian, the empire of the bioluminescent, warrior-born alien women known simply as the Valari. We believed it was a peace summit. We were wrong. It was a marriage ceremony. And their princess, the one nobody wanted, was waiting for a suitor who did not exist. At least, not until I got pulled into their tragedy. Beginning, the princess with the shattered beauty. Valerian's palace was carved into a massive crystalline mountain, shimmering like fractured moonlight. I had never seen anything like it. Structures that seemed to grow naturally from the glowing stone, woven with veins of luminescent energy, all pulsing in rhythm like a living organism. When we arrived, an honor guard escorted us inside. Tall, elegant Valari women watched us with unreadable expressions. Their faces were sharp, regal, intimidating. Their bodies were etched with glowing veins of light beneath translucent skin, patterns unique to each individual, like cosmic fingerprints. But while we admired the architecture and tried to stay calm, something felt off. There were banners everywhere. Musical harmonics echoing through the halls. Ceremonial symbols carved into the floors. A festival. A wedding. That was when the High Matron addressed us. Our princess, Aravel, awaits her choosing. According to our tradition, a potential match must offer himself willingly. The humans looked at one another in confusion. We were told this was a cultural exchange, our lead diplomat whispered. It is, the High Matron replied. Marriage is the deepest form of cultural exchange our empire recognizes. The room went silent. One of the Valari stepped forward and spoke in a lower tone. Our princess believes none will choose her. She bears scars from the Drather War. Valari men fear she is cursed. I felt a twist in my stomach. A princess feared by her own people. Before anyone could protest or ask questions, the doors opened, and she stepped out. Princess Aravel. My heart stuttered. She was tall and elegant like the others, but different in every way that mattered. Her glowing patterns were dimmer, broken in places by deep, jagged scars that ran down the left side of her face, across her neck, and along her arm. The scars shimmered faintly, evidence of the alien energy weapon that had nearly killed her. Her eyes, unlike the golden eyes of most Valari, were silver, soft, reflective, uncertain. The room tensed as she entered. Her people respected her. They admired her. But they also feared her, because she returned from war marked. Valari culture saw scars not as honor, but as signs that fate had tried to end you. She scanned the human delegation, as if searching for any hint of willingness. None of the humans met her gaze, until she reached me. Our eyes locked, her silver gaze trembling, searching, pleading for something she could not ask aloud. I didn't understand what I saw in her. Pain, fear, hope, maybe all three. She lifted her hand slightly, as if testing whether I would flinch. I didn't. Her eyes widened just a fraction. The High Matron's voice cut through the silence. Human delegation. Who wishes to be presented to the princess? No one spoke. The diplomats shifted uncomfortably. Most avoided eye contact. One even stepped back. The princess lowered her gaze, her shoulders sinking. Something inside me twisted. I wasn't brave. I wasn't important. I wasn't even the smartest human in the room. But my chest tightened as she turned to leave, as if she expected nothing else. She didn't deserve that. Before I understood why, I stepped forward. The room gasped, Valari and humans alike. Cleared my throat. I will. Princess Aravel froze. She slowly turned back. Her silver eyes glimmered like starlight caught in water. And for the first time she smiled. Middle. A human and a scarred princess. I was escorted into the royal chambers under heavy guard. Apparently, humans volunteering for alien royalty was not a common occurrence. The chamber was vast, lit by soft pulses of blue and violet light, and filled with crystalline structures that grew like branches from the walls. Princess Aravel waited for me beside a crystalline window overlooking the glowing city. She looked tense, almost frightened. "Why did you step forward?" she asked. Her voice was gentle, unexpectedly soft for a warrior-born princess. I swallowed. "I didn't want you to be alone." Her brows knit together. "Do humans pity royalty?" "Not pity," I said quickly. "Empathy." "You looked hurt." She pressed a hand over her scar. "These marks frighten my people. They believe my fate is broken. That anyone who chooses me will share my curse." "That's superstition," I said. Then softer. "And they're wrong." She studied me as if I were a puzzle. "You do not look away from my scars," she whispered. "Not even now. I don't see something to look away from." Her breath hitched faintly. Valari emotions were subtle but deep. Her glowing pathways pulsed slightly faster, like a heartbeat visible beneath her skin. We talked for hours. About her people. About the war. About how she received the scars protecting civilians. About how the Valari believed a princess must be flawless, untouched, unmarred. "They fear choosing me will bring them misfortune," she murmured. "And what do you fear?" I asked. Her voice broke. "That no one will ever choose me at all." And at that moment something shifted in me. Gentle but powerful. She wasn't frightening. She wasn't cursed. She wasn't broken. She was a survivor. And beautiful for it. By the time the guards returned, I found myself wishing I had more time with her. The declaration test. The next day, the High Matron summoned us to the ceremonial chamber, a colossal crystalline amphitheater filled with hundreds of Valari. Princess Aravel looked terrified. I stepped beside her. She glanced at me again, questioning, unsure, and whispered, "You may withdraw now, human. I would not blame you." "I'm not withdrawing." Her silver eyes widened. The High Matron raised her staff. "The human has stepped forward willingly. But he must pass the declaration test." I leaned toward Aravel. "Declaration what?" She swallowed. "You must hold my hand and declare your choice in front of all Valari. If you hesitate or show fear of my scars, the test fails." I stared at her hand, delicate but strong glowing patterns winding like constellations across her palm and wrist. Then I took it gently. She flinched, not from pain, but from surprise. Her people gasped. One whisper carried through the amphitheater. "He touches her without fear." Aravel trembled, gripping my hand as if anchoring herself. The High Matron's voice boomed. "Human, speak your declaration." My heart pounded. I looked at Aravel, into those silver eyes, so uncertain and hopeful it made my chest ache. I squeezed her hand softly. "I choose her," I said. "Not despite her scars. Because she survived them." Silence. Utter silence. Her glowing patterns flared, bright, brilliant, alive. A sign of emotional resonance. A sign of acceptance. A sign of hope. The Valari stared in shock as Aravel lifted my hand and pressed it to her forehead.